Toilet Barking, West Ham, Limehouse and London Fenchurch Street. This train is formed of 8 coaches.
I've just stepped out of Fenchurch Street station and I'm going to go for a walk around the City of London. It's generally quieter here on a Saturday, so I'm going to test that hypothesis and hope that all the tourists are over in Westminster. But first I'm going to have a drink. Right, so let's start this walk. That shiny building is Lloyd's of London. Lloyd's originally started in a coffee shop near the river in 1652. It's named after Edward Lloyd, the father of the modern insurance industry. Ahead is Leadenhall Market, which dates back to 1321. It stands in what was the centre of Roman London. It was redesigned in the 19th century as an arcade by Sir Horace Jones. It's popular with Harry Potter fans because it stood in for Diagon Alley in the first Harry Potter film. Hagrid and Harry enter the Leaky Cauldron pub through a blue door located at 42 Bull's Head Passage. Okay, so some of these places are a bit spooky of a night time. Why I brought you here is to show you some of the old streets of medieval London. Well, the streets are a few feet beneath me, but some of the late medieval and early modern layout remains. I'm standing in a really quiet passageway, ready to go to my next stop, which is the George Vulture Inn. The George Vulture is a restaurant or a chop house. An inn has stood on this site since 1142. It was said to be a meeting place of the notorious Hellfire Club. You know, the sort of gentry and nobility who like to dabble in a bit of devil worship. Allegedly. When you think of Britain, you probably think of tea, but it wasn't the first beverage we came to love. The first coffee shop in Europe was in Oxford. By the early 1700s, there were over 600 coffee shops in London, the first one having stood here. Now I can't walk past here without mentioning the Royal Exchange. It was founded in 1571 and traders gathered here to sell and buy stocks and goods. This is actually the third building on this site, and it opened in 1844. Here are some of the buildings of the street that runs parallel to the Royal Exchange. Traders moved out of the Royal Exchange at the end of the Second World War. It's now a luxury shopping centre. Beside it stands the Bank of England. I just love this juxtaposition of old and modern. The Mansion House needs some TLC, don't you think?
Now we're just leaving behind the Bank of England and heading for our next stop, which is the Guildhall. It was built between 1411 and 1440 and is now the only remaining medieval secular building in London.
Since 1502, it's hosted the annual Lord Mayor's Banquet.
The Guildhall is undeniably spectacular. I can hardly hear myself talk here. Those bells are glorious.
I recommend visiting the Guildhall Art Gallery, not only because it has a wonderful art collection, but because you can actually see the remains of the London Roman amphitheatre, and the admission is free. I'm heading towards some more Roman stuff now.
I'm stopping off at this point just to show you a little bit of the old Roman wall.
Doctor Who's holiday home there. I recommend pausing to read these wonderful memorials.
So this is Postman's Park. Now I didn't want to film myself near the memorial out of respect. We're going to go on to St Bart's, I believe, which is the next one on my map, and I think you'll like it round there.
I'm heading towards Smithfield. In the 12th century, The area was described as Smithfield, a word for smooth, flat open area. It became a meat market and it's well known for the execution of William Wallace in 1305. This whole area is also dominated by St Bart's Hospital, the oldest still in use in England.
And next I'm off to St Bart. Oh, very loud here. I'll stop filming for a bit. Has he gone? I don't know what he's doing. There's something going on over there. Oh God. Big crowds. I'm going to head that way in a minute anyway. Well, I came to the City of London for peace and quiet and I haven't really got it. It was much noisier today than what I thought it was going to be. It was to get away from the sun over here. Because I want to talk about St Bart's Church. Let's come up here. And I'll show you in a moment. It was built in 1123 along with the hospital as a part of a Carthusian abbey. And it's the oldest church in London. It's really lovely. I might just show you.
The artist and satirist William Hogarth was baptised here, and Benjamin Franklin worked in the printer's workshop within the site, now occupied by the Lady Chapel. The gatehouse, dating from around 1595, sits on top of the 13th century archway.
Museum of St John's, and there seems to be a lot of building work going on in and around Smithfield because they're turning it into the new London Museum. Mind these blocks on the floor. And so I've got to navigate another way round. We'll see if we can get there. I've just had a typical autistic tantrum by moaning about the fact that they're digging up at the Museum of St John's after I finally got out of Smithfield. So I have made it, but you can hear they're digging up and they're making a lot of noise. The museum is open from Wednesday to Saturday
from 9:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. But do the tour, because you can only visit certain rooms and galleries on the tour, and they are the best bits in my opinion.
Heading towards my last stop now. I'm going to Bunhill Fields, which was a dumping ground really for the bones from St Paul's Cathedral. In 1665 it was authorised for use as a plague pit, and then became the burial ground for London's nonconformists. We've got some significant historical figures buried there, like John Bunyan, author of Pilgrim's Progress, Daniel Defoe, author of Robinson Crusoe, and the artist William Blake. So somehow Bone Hill become Bunhill, and here we are in this lovely little cemetery, probably one of the smallest, if not the smallest, of the London cemeteries. It's a little bit overgrown, you can see from behind me. Been trying to find my ancestors in here and have so far failed. So I've come to the end of my journey. Was the city of London quieter than Westminster? Yeah, it was for the most part. Little pockets where it was busier. But on the whole, it's worth coming on a Saturday for a little bit of freedom to move around. So that's it from me. I'll leave you a few shots of the cemetery. Bye for now.